Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Show. I'm so happy to have you with me a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. Tonight, I was thinking of many different things to chat about. I had several things in my head that I was bouncing back and forth on. And eventually, I came back to something because I was talking to my daughter about this. And she's in a class now with lots of people, many of them millennials and Gen Zs, and they're chatting back and forth about different things. And one of the things that she says she tries to not talk about very much is politics. And that she noticed that even though she won't talk about it very much, she actually finds that many people will openly talk about it and express their righteousness in their political views openly in class and openly in front of others and virtue signal in front of everyone. And everyone who doesn't believe has to either be quiet or there's like a verbal back and forth that pops up. This has nothing to do with the class. My daughter is studying right now to do something completely different. When she was in actual college, she's graduated, but when she was in actual college, she told me she couldn't tell people what I do. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, because then people will look you up and they'll know you were a libertarian. And she said, if people knew that in my school, they would be mad at me. They would judge me by that. So, Dad, I can't tell people what you do and what you've done. I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't care what your friends think, but it was just funny that she said that. And then saying that made me think about this. And what has happened in our culture, in our nation, to where politics and virtue signaling is critical. And not just politics. Politics, yes. But even if you disagree with some politically, that's fine if you do. I mean, many of us do. There's values socially if you openly say how bad the person and distance yourself. That's the word. You distance yourself from them, right? That's how you do it. I know your friend is a insert bad guy, so I'm glad you've distanced yourself from that person. So it doesn't matter how long you've been with that person. It doesn't matter what the relationship is. It doesn't matter. You might go, Larry, it's family. Hold on. I remember this, and I brought this up right before Thanksgiving, I think. This was MSNBC before the horrible human being known as Joy Reid was canceled. This was her show. And people said, is Joy Reid that bad? Yeah, it is. And this is an example of what she was talking about. Now, she brings on her show. This, by the way, is a doctor she's brought on. I think she's a psychiatrist.
There is a push, I think just a societal norm
Whenever you hear someone try to normalize something, know that it's garbage.
If somebody is your family, they are entitled to your time.
See, is this norm, that some stupid societal norm that if they're your family, they're entitled to your time. How dare you, family member, want my time? Just because you're my kid, you get some of my time? Just because you're my mom, like I owe you something. That's what she's saying. I know you've been my brother. I know. And so I owe you something for that. That's what she's saying.
And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you...
Oh, I know. Not because they've done something horrible. Maybe they murdered somebody, they harmed somebody, they robbed somebody. It must be for that, right?
You are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know.
Okay, by the way, she is Dr. Amanda Calhoun, Yale University Child Psychiatry Fellow. Just so you understand who this person is, who's going to say what she's about to say. Yale University Child Psychiatry Fellow, Dr. Amanda Calhoun. So, because they murder people, right?
No, have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said.
What? They voted differently? Okay. I get that you are my kid and I raised you, but you voted differently. Get out. I get you are my husband and I've been with you for 30 years, but you voted Trump? Psh, pack your trash. She's not kidding. Yeah, I know you're my father and you raised me and you saved my life literally multiple times, but you voted Trump. Get out. That's what she's saying.
And against your livelihood. And it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why.
Just break them off and virtue signal publicly.
Cue the.
And she's like, yay, yay. She actually thinks this is a good idea. And I'm like, okay, Lai, but she's been canceled. So that doesn't count anymore because Joy Reid's been canceled and therefore it no longer matters, right? MSNBC has righted the wrong. Of course not. That sounds good. I wish that were true. That sounds amazing. It's not true, but that does sound amazing. But I remember that when I thought, you know what? She's the oddball. But no, something else popped up, which made me really think about this. And this is a cultural issue. And some of you may have heard this. This is kind of going viral-ish. I don't know if it's viral, but it's going viral-ish, I would say. That's what I would say, viral-ish. It is a segment from the TV show Love is Blind. I think it's like a Netflix or something like that, or Amazon Prime or something. It's one of those shows on one of those stations. I didn't know what it was until my daughters, they like it. They thought it was fun. So I watched an episode. No, not I watched the whole season. I watched the season. I forgot what season it was. It wasn't the season I was going to show you. This is maybe 2 years ago, maybe. I forgot when it was. But I watched the season with them and we like binged in like 2 days or something. We watched it. We binged it. So now I understood what the thing was. This is one where there's a woman. She is 28 years old and she's decided at the altar that she's not going to marry this guy that they're supposed to marry. For those of you who don't know what the show is, they talk to each other without seeing each other, like in rooms where you can only hear the person's voice and you can't see them, hence Love is Blind. Over the course of, I forgot how long, whatever, weeks or whatever it is, you meet lots of people and you see if there's a connection. And if there is, you're supposed to agree or not to get married. And then they pay for the marriage and then they do it on TV and that's the show, right? And some of you who watch it know. If you don't, that's what the show is. So they're going to go do that. Well, they're going to go do that. Hold on. Let me grab a couple of super chats before I go there. P says, so is Barbara politically aligned with you? Generally speaking, yes. In certain ways, my daughter is further left than I am. And in certain ways, she's far more conservative than I am. When it comes to relationships, she's actually very conservative. When it comes to relationships, she is concerned about being a good wife. She's concerned about being prepared for children. That's a thing she's very concerned about, which most women of her age are not. Most women are much more concerned about things like making money and education and career. That's secondary to her in that regard. And I don't care either way. It's fine. And other ways, she's much further left in other ways. So, but is she generally more libertarian? I would say yes, she is generally more libertarian. Yes. The lunatic libertarian. I mean, she comes to my events, so people meet her and talk to her. So she is generally more libertarian. Lunatic, thank you for the 499. These academics are indoctrinated. Correct. Honesty ruins emotions temporarily. True. Those can be mended. Also true. Lifelong lies, no matter how white they are white. Yes. Everything you're saying is true, right? I remember a very well-trained psychotherapist I knew from years ago. He told me something which really landed later in life. It didn't land immediately when he said it. Later in life, it landed for me. He probably told me this 25 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe. He's long since retired. He said, Larry, always go with truth. And when that doesn't work, more truth. And when that fails, more truth. And when that doesn't work, more truth. And I thought, maybe, like I wasn't like buying it 100% then, right? I was like, now I'm like, that dude was right. That dude was 100% right. That dude was right. And I wasn't sure then. I wasn't like, no, I just wasn't sure. Now I'm like, yes, that dude was right. You are correct. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be a jerk about it though, lunatic. You don't have to be a jerk about truth. You don't have to be a jerk. But yes, truth is far more important in the long run, right? But short term, it can hurt. You're totally correct. Short term, which is why I think you should try to be as nice as you can when telling truths, because it can hurt. And I would rather not hurt somebody if I don't have to, or at least make it less bad if I can. And this way they can heal faster and it can actually work. That would help. So yes, Missy says, please share this out on all platforms. Let's invite others to our discussion. Yes. Yes. 100% yes. Right? Click that like button, guys. If you know you like it, and you know you do, that's why you're watching. Click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Please do so right now. Please also super chat this. Repost this and share this. If you want to go to the front like you, so those guys do, just super chat. You can super chat me on YouTube or rant me on Rumble. If you have not followed me yet on Facebook, X, and Rumble, you should do so. You can also subscribe on YouTube and select all notifications. Lastly, of course, if you want to become a member, I try to get member chats first if I can. $49 per month. Click that join button. You can become a Rumble member if you want to by clicking subscribe during live. By the way, we are doing our member show coming up this Friday. I'm going to be sending out notes today and tomorrow to the people who I'm going to be popping on. And tonight, by the way, I will be on John Crump Live at 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe an hour or so after I end this show. So if you want to see me again, I'll be chatting then. And they're going to be talking about, I don't know, something Trump probably. It's all fine. We'll talk about some cool stuff over there if you want to see me. John Crump Live, 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. I'll post it on Twitter where I'm going to be. For those of you who will follow me on Twitter, maybe I'll post it on YouTube too if you guys want to see that. All right, I've yapped away. Now for the more important piece, which is this woman who is 28 years old. As you can see here, she is 28, right? 28 years old, oncology nurse, and she's at the altar. She is at the altar. And what does she have to say?
I love you so much.
She loves him. That's amazing. And look at him smiling. He's so happy. He's like, I got this hot girl who I met on Love is Blind, and we both think we're hot, and we're going to get married. This is awesome. I'm such a winner.
But I've always wanted a partner to be on the same wavelength.
And he's like, what is going on right now? What is going on? And when you know someone who's in their 20s, who is at the wedding altar and uses the phrase partner, you know you're screwed. You're done. You're done. You're done. She's not saying, she's literally dressed traditionally, and she's not saying I've always wanted a husband or a man. She's using the phrase, the word, I should say, partner. Oh, you're cooked. That's the game. Run, my friend. Run. As soon as she says, I've always wanted a partner, turn and run. I'm kidding. It's all a joke. I'm out.
And so today I can't.
So she decided to do this here. She didn't say, hey, before I get dressed and do a little makeup, I'm going to go, no. Or before I get here, no. Everyone's here. Watch how everyone looks. Like, what? What? What's going on?
I'm sorry, but I don't want that to be misunderstood. I still love you, and everything about you is amazing.
Now, I want you to hear what she just said. She said, I still love you. The woman's a sociopath. This man, to be forward, Ben, he has dodged a bullet. He should go home and be like, oh my God, thank you. For anybody to go, I love you, and I'm going to publicly shame you on TV in front of everybody and not marry you because we're not in the same wavelength. But I love you, though, and you're amazing. Yeah, she's a sociopath. She's a horrible human being. He dodged a bullet. Mm-hmm.
And I care about you so much.
Yeah.
I care about you, too.
Now, here's the part you would say that I feel bad for this guy. Now, she came on the show because she's 28, a nurse, can't find a man. I can see why she can't find a man. She's a horrible human being. Men will date her because she's hot, sleep with her because she's hot, and leave her because she's a terrible person. Obviously. I mean, I don't have to be a Yale fellow psychiatrist. I don't have to be that to figure that one out, right? She's hot, good-looking woman. So guys want to sleep with her because she's a good-looking woman. She's in her 20s. Good for her. Enjoying her life. Yay, you. All good. But they won't be with her or give a relationship because she's a terrible human being. Clearly, as she decided that virtue signaling in front of everyone on TV was more important than a man's feelings, who clearly was into her. She couldn't have called him up, told him, in one of them rooms or something. This is the way she did it. She had a virtuous to show how virtuous she was because she cares about. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. She's gonna self-report because she can't not self-report. So she will self-report. She's gonna tell on herself in a minute, but that's what she's gonna do. Now this guy goes, Why did he come on the show? Okay, she came on the show because men keep sleeping with her and leaving her. Now they don't tell me that. I know that. I can look at her. That's true. That's the reason. So that's why she came on the show. And she's hoping now to maybe, I'm going to show everybody what a boss babe I am. And now I'm going to get a man. That's not going to work. But that's what she thinks. He came on because he can't get a woman. He's obviously not one of those macho alpha male types or whatever. He's not that. That's not who he is. So he can't go around grabbing all the women and having all the sexy ones and he can't find one. So he thought, I'll go on a TV show. And hopefully either I'll find somebody or maybe some girls will see me and see who I am as a person and think I'm a good guy, and maybe I'll get a woman that way. That's what he was thinking. Way different reasons for going to the show. How do I know that? Because if she had done that to me, I would have lit her up so horribly, she would have left that altar crying. She would have left that altar crying, calling me names. Everybody in that room would have been calling me names because I would have lit her up I would have embarrassed her. I would have dressed her down to the point of her running away in tears to where they would literally, that would have gone viral. Her saying this wouldn't have gone viral. My dressing down would have gone viral. Now, does he do that? Of course not.
I love you so much.
I love you so much,
I want to stay with you and keep growing our relationship if you'll let me.
If you'll let me. If you'll let me. Now, a lot of you who are watching and listening to that just went, no, he didn't say that. That's what I thought. When I saw this, I was like, no, you didn't say that. And he did. He said that. Oh my God. Him saying that, terrible. Shelly says, thank you. Still no blinking. Yes, she is a horrible human being. She's just a horrible human being. That's all she is. She's a horrible human being. This woman's a horrible human. Look, I'm not saying women. This woman. Please don't get me. Don't have the all police come at me. This woman. That's who I'm talking about. Not all women. I'm not doing that. Not. Yes. Rick says he doesn't love himself. That's close to true. Rick, he doesn't respect himself. That's his issue. He doesn't respect himself. And it's because he's been failing. Right? He's been failing with women in the past, so he feels like he doesn't have enough power or respect. That's what he feels like. So that's why he came on the show, hoping that he'd find. And obviously he likes her. Clearly, he's into her. Right? He's actually into her. He probably fell for her. He probably actually, look, he does. Yeah. And he doesn't respect himself. So, yeah, that is terrible. Yes. So, Plain Nut 767 says, not everyone, Larry, the single man would have been sharing. That's true. Yeah, the single man would have been sharing. That's true. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. While Christine, hardcore. True, she's a demon and he's spineless. The man needs to sell those testosterone. Christine, you're not wrong. Christine, you're not wrong. Absolutely. Lunta, thank you for the 499. I can't even count how many labels, titles, or categories Larry just listed in the past 2 minutes. See how humanity has digressed? Virtue signum, categories and titles and labels. You mean describing a person as a horrible human being? Describing her as a sociopath? That's a label or a title? That's a description, my friend. I didn't put her into a category. I didn't say women like her, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I said her. This is an individual issue. Her. I know who she is. I can tell. That's who she is. I know who he is. I can tell. Now, other people were saying that. I wasn't. I'm talking about 2 specific people. Now, why do I think these people are important? Because this, and I'm going to keep going, is an example of what is happening throughout our country. That's why I started off with Joy Reid. I started with that talk, and that was 4 months ago, 5 months ago now, and that was family. This now is romance. It's not just family. It's not just romance. I'll go one step further, which I'll touch a bit later, but I'll bring it up now because you brought it up. What about all these people now hating Teslas now, or hating Elon Musk now and Teslas? It's affecting their choices of buying. Their buying choices now. If this was 2 years ago, lots of people love the Teslas. They're all buying EVs. Now they're setting them on fire and scratching them up with the bad symbols on them because of virtue signaling. Yes, because of virtue signaling. But I thought you liked the car. Happening everywhere. Yes. Peace. Thank you for the 499. Hope the thing you do replicate is good because that's not working. F you. Yes. Yes. I do hope that was good. We'll see. Maybe it is. I'm not sure if it is. I don't know if he even gotten it yet. Did he get some yet? I don't even know. I didn't watch the show. Right? I didn't watch the show. Right? I don't know. Yeah. Shin says this is not this is an extreme example. This is not representative of the average relationship. Sadly, it is of the new relationships. And again, this is what's beginning. You're right. If you're like over 40, over 50, over 60, you're correct, Shin. If you're under 30, this is becoming more and more common. This is becoming the norm. You're worried how you look on TikTok more than you're worried about who your partner is. So you are correct. It's extreme. That's why I'm showing it. I mean, it's not exciting, right? If I show a boring one, who's going to watch it? So you're correct. Guilty as charged. This is extreme. This woman is a sociopath. Yes, guilty as charged. All I'm saying is this type of relationship is becoming more and more common in the world. She goes on to say, no, this is having respect for women's sign of progress. That's not what this is about. No, Shin, you're completely wrong on this. You're totally wrong. This is not about having respect for women. That's not what this is about. This is about a woman having respect for a man. She has every right. This is why I'm saying virtue signaling. I'm not saying she should date this guy. Maybe she doesn't like him. I don't have a problem with that. Maybe her preferences are not a guy like him or whatever. That's not the issue, Shin. You're missing the issue. She could have easily sent him an email, had a phone call, done this behind the scenes. There were many ways she could have done this. She did it publicly at the altar. That's a lack of respect for him. That's the difference. I want to be clear. She has no obligation to marry this guy, like his type, think he's right. She cannot like him for whatever reason she wants. We all have preferences. I have no problem with that. But she didn't have to do this publicly. You will find women all the time today. I see it on TV. I see it out in the streets. I hear it. I get sent videos all the time on this. Like every week I get a video too sent. Women getting mad because men won't approach women. Why won't they? Why won't they? Why won't they? Because this. Because women will out you on social media and embarrass you. That's a common thing. Again, if you're over 40, women aren't really doing that over 40. I guess some are, but most aren't. Under 30, it's becoming the norm. See it everywhere. If you're making up shit, go on TikTok. Just go on TikTok and look for women's content, and you will find them talking about the men they're dating all day, all night. Talking about them all the time. Details. There's Facebook groups now that talk about the details of men women are dating. It's a group. Oh, I dated Bob. Bob's got this. He's this size, this skill set, this, that, this, the other. Yeah. So for you to say this is extreme example, yes, that's not a progress. No. No, that's incorrect. That is incorrect. This is becoming more and more common, more and more of it. So yes. All righty. Ingrid says, I have virtue signaled. I'm not proud of that. It was not my finest moment. I really try to check myself now when I get angry about something, not perfect or work in progress. Look, Ingrid, me too, right? Me too. I'm human too. I get triggered too, right? I'm human. I get that. But this is becoming more and more and more, right? More and more and more. This is really becoming more of an issue. Let me keep going because it does matter.
We'll see.
She says, we'll see. And they start laughing. What disrespect. What disrespect. And I feel for both of them, more for him than her. I feel for him because this guy's clearly broken. Clearly broken. Obviously and clearly broken. And she just thinks she's the greatest thing in the world and deserves all of this. So yes. All right, let me grab some of these. Lunatic says, thank you for $2. Television programming, programming the masses. Yep, correct. Yes, making this the norm and making her a hero in many people's eyes. Right? Making her a hero. Again, she's not bad for saying this guy doesn't meet whatever prerequisite she has. You can have it a prerequisite you want. No problem. She's bad for the way she did this. And I think some people aren't getting it. That's what makes her a horrible human being. It's not the fact that she doesn't want this guy. Okay, whatever. And it looks nice to me, I guess. I don't know. I think I'd like him if I were her, but I'm not her. She does whatever she wants. There are many ways of doing it. That's the problem. Peace, Laws. Thank you for the $5. Let's hope those two are NPCs, non-player characters. Yeah, she is. To be forward, her romantic life is now ruined. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. I'm not joking when I say this. She now at this point has literally zero. I mean, she already did, but now it's obvious. It's even worse. She has zero chance. And let me say it again. Zero, not 1%, not 2%. She has zero chance of having an actual long-term, successful long-term relationship. Zero. The best she'll be is a divorced single mom. That's the best she'll ever get. I don't mean that to be cruel. She's a bad human being. And she showed this now in something that went viral. The only men who will go after her now are men who want to purposely conquer her because those men want to show how tough they are. Those men will go after her and try to conquer her being tough guys. And if she likes bad boys, I don't know if she does, but if she likes bad boys, she will fall for those men if she likes bad boys. If she's young, she might. A lot of young people like bad boys, if she does. If she likes bad boys, she'll get taken advantage of by the bad boys who will use and abuse her and maybe knock her up and make her pregnant. Maybe. If she doesn't get a bad boy, she'll get some weak guy like him who came after her last time, and she'll just say yes because she's desperate. She'll get knocked up. She'll disrespect him. They'll get divorced. That is her future. Larry, how do you know that? I'll bet any of you any amount of money. I don't care. She has done it to herself by doing this again publicly. This is the internet age. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Paula says, I would not want to be friends with her as a female. Yes. Yes. She's destroyed herself. Andrea says, thank you for being a member, Andrea. Can't some things be left private? Correct. I want to be very clear. You have every right as a human being to have preferences for who you want to date or marry or have kids with. No worries. You absolutely can do so. But you didn't have to do it like this. She says, my struggles and arguments with my husband are between he and I. If it's something I need advice, I ask for privately. That's probably why you're still married, Andrea. Yes, that's how it should work. Yes, exactly how it should work. Absolutely. So let me keep going here. You're laughing.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Jesus Christ.
Okay. I love you.
I love you so much.
I know
Wow.
that the connection we have is so real.
She is literally just saying things. She doesn't know what that means. I'm not making that up. If any of you have felt that absolute connection, I don't know if everyone has, but if you have, you know what that connection is. You wouldn't say that. You say this to try to, she's saying this to try to act like she's a good person. See, I'm a good person, but I'm just so virtuous. She is talking to her TikTok audience. She isn't talking to him. She's talking to her TikTok audience. See, you have to have your heart, and I'm such a good person, and blah, 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 and I'm concerned about that. And because of that, she will literally never have a solid, good long-term relationship.
And my heart is there.
No, it isn't.
But we talked about a lot of the values that I hold so close to my heart. Making this decision, my mind is telling me I can't.
And you didn't know that till just now. Like you figured it out now. You walked in and went, you know what? My mind just told. She walks away, no kiss. Bye.
Okay.
I'm strong.
See me in the back.
She just broke that man's heart publicly in front of all her friends, and she's laughing. And for you to say, this is not a horrible human being, then you don't know what horrible human beings are. And that's maybe you don't know what they are. Well, if you don't know what a horrible human being is, I've just showed you one. So now you know that is a horrible human being. Thanks for the flowers.
Oh my gosh, I'm fine.
I know you're fine. It's obvious. You just virtue signaled so big. You are the virtuous one of them all. You are super virtuous, and your TikTok is going to explode. Your TikTok is going to explode. You are set, sweetheart. Well done.
Get me out of here.
I'm going to laugh and everything.
You guys, really, I'm okay.
I'm okay. Where's the camera? Who got the camera? Oh, you got the camera? Okay, where's the camera? Let me do some acting now.
I don't know. I feel kind of numb. Do you? Oh yeah, because it's sad. Like I was really excited about Ben, and I'm like, he's such a great person.
See, he's such a great person. No, he's not. No, he's not.
I just like.
Okay, tell me. I want to hear. Tell me why. What was the horrible thing that Ben did or said? Please tell me the horrible thing that Ben did or said that made you go, I just can't handle this. This guy is basically the worst human being on the planet. Tell me what he did or said. Come on.
What? I just hope I made the right decision. Hi guys.
Oh my goodness.
Love you.
Love you.
It was a lot, but we're rolling with it. I just want to talk to her. Yeah.
Dude, don't. No. Okay. All right. Ben, my brother. Ben, run. Like, you dodged a bullet. Why are you getting back in front of the firing squad? Like, they went to shoot you. They went to fire, and every gun jammed. Move on, my friend. Move on.
Was it like the time frame?
I mean, I knew the whole time coming into this, the time frame. Like that's not like I feel like I know him.
What?
Like really.
Yeah.
Like I remember. Like I asked him about like Black Lives Matter, and I know.
Okay. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. I got it. Some people care a lot about Black Lives Matter. Okay, got it. So what did he say? He's like, I hate black people. Black lives don't matter. He said that?
I'm no expert, but like when I asked him about it, he was like, I
He was
guess
like-
I never really thought too much about it. That affected me.
What? So you said, this is what I asked him about Black Lives Matter. Clearly it matters to her. Okay. And he said, I don't know, I haven't thought about it much. You frickin' fascist. You're basically a Klansman. He's a Klansman. Clearly he is. He said, I hadn't thought about it that much. That affected me. Because you know why that affected her? Because she's the most virtuous of them all. She's so virtuous. This woman is a piece of garbage. She's a horrible human being. And the people who are with her mom and her sister, you raised that piece of garbage. That's your fault. You raised that piece of garbage. She said, I asked him about Black Lives Matters. If he had said, to hell with black people, whatever, they don't matter, or something. Okay, all right, whoa, is that where you're going? That's what I thought maybe he said. He went, I didn't thought about much. Klansman. Get him the robe. Mike, get the hood. Get the hood, Mike. This guy. Get the hood.
Especially in our own city. Like, how could it not? How did it not make you think about something? I asked him to, like, what his church's views are.
Okay, so we asked about his church. Okay, so then, of course, he said, well, my church is number one. Anyone who's not of my church should be burned at the stake. That's what he said. I'm sure. Burn him at the stake. You're not my church. You should be kicked out of the country. That's what he said. He said, if you're not my church, you shouldn't have the right to vote. That's what he said. I'm sure he said that. You're a heathen and you're going to the fires, the pit of hell, is what he said, right?
And he said he didn't know.
He didn't know. He didn't know is what he said. Rick, he said he didn't know. That's what he said. What about your church? I don't know. Clearly, this guy is a cult member. Clearly, this guy is a religious fanatic who wants to murder everyone who's not his religion. Do you understand what happened here? Do you understand what happened here? He said, I don't know. How dare you? I have to put together that cue with Greta going, how dare you? I need to put that up because this is where it is. How dare you? He's at, I don't know. And all of a sudden, oh my God, literally, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Yes. Shin, you're getting it. That woman has every right not to enter this marriage. Agreed. I never fought you on that. But that this was filmed is quite dramatic. Not just dramatic, it is traumatic to the man. This is my point. She did it just for the virtue signal. She did it for the clicks. She did it for her social media fans. That's my point. You are right. She's not required to marry this dude. You don't like him. Okay. Oh my God, this is terrible. Oh my God, this is terrible. Right? That's all he said. I don't know. You horrible bigot. You horrible bigot. I can't believe it. Yes. P says, ick is a common name for the white spot disease, a parasitic disease that affects freshwater fish and this woman, caused by a protozoan parasite. Okay, you may say this thing? Hold on. Ethiopithrius multifilius. God, you made me say this stuff. He says, don't make me say this stuff. But yes. Oh, is that ich? Is that ich like German ich, or is that ich? I can't tell. If it's English, it's ich. If it's German, it's ich. So yes, for those of you who know German, that is not ich in German. In German, that is ich. It's a different pronunciation. So, and I know P speaks German, so that's why I was saying that. So yes. Ryan, for $5, thank you, my friend. He says, where's his hood? She's the most virtuous of them all. Is she implying that she's Snow White? She is beyond a toxic whack job. Yes, which I'm saying. The guy's name is Ben. Ben, if you can hear me, if you're watching, run. Just run. Don't go anywhere near this woman. She's a horrible human being. She's a bad person. She's just a bad person. Terrible. But here's the problem. She isn't the only one. She isn't. This is a growing trend. That's why I showed you that Joy Reid piece up front, which the doctor from Yale, doctor of psychiatry, said it is the norm and okay and should be okay for you to ignore your family members who voted for Trump. That's fair game. Of course, you should ignore your family members who voted for Trump. That's good and normal, and we should normalize that. That's what she said. And then this one says, well, I asked about Black Lives Matter. He said, I don't know. Get rid of that chump. What's wrong with you? Asked about the church. He said, I don't know. Gone and gone. Gone. Why would you even talk to this man anymore? Gone. Oh, she's not done. You're like, she's done. She's not done.
And
they're laughing. Look at this guy. He's broken. He's broken. And they're laughing. He's broken because he thought he found something. And they're laughing. They raised that piece of garbage because they're pieces of garbage too. They raised a lot. Yeah, ha, ha, ha.
A sermon online
From his church.
about, sexual identity.
Okay.
And it was traditional.
What? You watched a traditional church sermon online and you looked for the one that was about sexual identity. And when you found it, all right, okay, Paula, relax. Relax on this one. Okay, here we go. You meant it. She watched a traditional sermon from a church and their view on sexual identity was, yeah, traditional. Get the stakes. Get the stakes. Shelly, get the stakes. They're burning people now. Get the stakes. Mike, you got the hood? Shelly, get the stakes. That's it. This guy, what are we doing? Why is he still alive? Why is he still alive? What's wrong with you? If you watch a sermon from most churches that are traditional, their view on identity would be traditional, right? What would you expect? And he didn't go, I hate them trances. He didn't say that. What did he say? He said, I don't know. I don't know. maybe it's not a big deal to him. What? Shelly says demons don't like church. Shelly, you're right. Well done. That's correct. You're correct. Demons, they tend to not like church. That's an accurate statement. Well done. Correct. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Christine, she's clutching her pearls right now. Christine, let your pearls go. She's clutching them tight. She got two hands on them. Yes. She goes, traditional. Oh my God. Yes. Ryan, thank you for $2, my friend. She's evil. Yes. I thought you would enjoy this because I was just, wow. Like, wow. Yeah. And again, this is more and more. Now, does she actually believe this stuff? I actually don't know. She might. I mean, maybe she actually cares tremendous about these things. It's possible. I don't know. But if you did, let's say this really mattered to her, tremendous, like she cared about this, it was important to her, you basically got to be an activist or she doesn't want to date you. Okay. You found that out when you were talking to him. That's how you found it out. So you knew he wasn't an activist. And maybe that's all you can date. You're like, he's not an activist. I don't want him. Okay. You have a right for your preferences. Do you just tell him, hey, man, you're a nice guy, but I need an activist. And if I don't have an activist, I don't want to get married. Done. You don't have this. He goes, got you. He goes, pick somebody else. You go pick somebody else. Blah, 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 blah. All good. That's what you have to do. You might go, but Larry, this is, as a lunatic says, reality TV hasn't been reality. Well, in this case, it kind of is. All you have to do, if any of you want to punish yourselves, if you want to, this is what I do. So I punish myself. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. Just go on TikTok and watch some women's content. And you will find lots of women saying this same kind of thing. Just as you will find men doing the opposite horrible things, you will find women doing horrible things. I know people often say, Larry, you talk more about men. I do because I'm a man. So obviously I feel it more. Clearly I do, right? So obviously I'm biased in that regard. But to be forward, there are a whole lot of men saying terrible things on TikTok or more on like Rumble and stuff, but still on their live. And there's a lot of women saying terrible stuff too. Neither side of this group is innocent. What did they say? What was the saying from the movie Glory? When Denzel Washington is talking to Matthew Broderick's character, and he goes, ain't nobody's hands clean in this one. I would say yes. Ain't nobody's hands clean in this one. And it's the example of her hands being dirty. But yes. So let me keep going if I could. I want to go a little bit further with this.
I told that to Ben.
So she told it. She told him.
And his dad doesn't really have much to say about it,
So he doesn't have much to say about it. He didn't say, to hell with them transes or to hell with the black people. He didn't say that. He just went, look, I think you're hot. I like you. I want a relationship. You want a relationship. I don't care about that stuff. You could be an activist. I don't care. Be an activist. I'll go to the things with you. I mean, he's clearly not one of these hardcore alpha male, rough, he's not the guy. He'd have been, if she said, go to the BLM rally, he'd have gone, right? Whatever. He'd have gone with her. Oh, go to the cool church with the gay people in it or whatever. He'd have been, okay, let's go to gay people church. He wouldn't have cared. He doesn't care. He'd have gone with her to all those things. So he's like, I don't care. Yes, let's go to the BLM rally. Can we just have a relationship? Can I have a hot woman and have kids and have a family and stuff? Because I would like that. And I can't seem to find that anyplace. Can I have that? I'll do the churches where you, whatever, the trans church, whatever. I don't care. He's like, I don't care. She's like, not good enough. He's not good enough for me. And not just that. Okay, first off, let me touch that piece. While she has every right to decide she doesn't like this man, every right, it's pretty stupid. Just saying. It's pretty dumb. If you are looking for a relationship now, if you want one, now obviously lots of people don't. Clearly, this guy, Ben, wants a relationship. She acted like she did because that's why she came on the show. So I don't know if she actually did or not. She might be doing this for TikTok likes. But if she wanted a relationship, if it's true that she wanted a relationship, why would you be that picky? Now, again, you have a right to be. You can be as picky as you want to be. This is a free country. Well, in theory it is. But you should be able to be as picky as you choose to be. No argument on that. I'm asking, why would you be? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. So if some guy's not like, to hell with the transes, to hell with the black people, if he's not that guy, why are you making that your reason to dump him? That seems stupid. Just my view. Again, you have every right to do whatever you think you should. I think that's a dumb reason, right? Even religion. If he's like, fine, I'll go to your church. I don't really care. Why are you fighting on that? He's not going, your religion's dumb. Mine is right. He's not doing that. Why do you care at that point, right? She's obviously struggling to find a relationship, or she wouldn't be on the show. He clearly is. He's broken up about this. He can't find one, and he wants one. You can tell he wants a relationship. Jesus, if you're a young woman out there right now looking for men who want a relationship, do you know how few of them there are? Most men of any type of status or stature don't even want to be married anymore. Half of them don't want to do with women at all. 8 million men have checked out completely. Some people say it's 10. Some people say it's 7. I think it's about 8. Who cares? It's far too many. They're checking out left and right. There's not enough men out there who want a relationship. Here's one who does. And you're like, she thought he was good looking enough. So he passed the good looking test for her. So he was good looking enough for her. But now I guess she's a Klansman. So anyway, yes. Yeah. I want someone to think about that. Yeah, no.
I want someone to think about that stuff. Sometimes I did wonder if it was surface, fun, carefree love that we had. Equality, religion, the vaccine.
Oh,
I love
geez,
you so-
yes. And that too, of course. You would do that because of that. Clearly, this guy's a horrible human being. Yes. So, yeah, I wanted to show you guys that because that drove me absolutely insane. And the last piece I want to bring up because of all of this is, of course, you can buy whatever car you want. Why do I care what car you buy? I don't care if you buy a Tesla. I don't own the Tesla. I don't care, right? Buy what you want. But the fact that you would own a Tesla and then destroy it or get rid of it or sell it because you don't like Elon Musk, because you want a virtue signal, holy cow, is that dumb? But people do it. And this is our world. This is my point. Virtual signaling is destroyed. Imagine if you own one and now your friends won't talk to you because you own a Tesla. What's wrong with you? Dude, I've been your friend for 25 years, but you own a Tesla. Okay, we went to high school together, dude. What are you talking about? You own a Tesla. I can't talk to you anymore. What? And you might go, why does it really matter? Tremendously, it matters. It matters for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, Americans are unhappy as a whole. Maybe you are or not, but as a whole, we are unhappy. We don't have good friends. We don't have good relationships relative to the past. We don't, particularly the youth. They don't. They're not healthy. They're not happy. They're on drugs of all types of types of drugs, and not drugs like because I want to be happy drugs, like to make yourself feel good at the time. They're on all types of drugs. They're on those at rates we've never seen before. All of this is happening. This isn't helpful. That's number one. Number two, we're not mating. We're not pair bonding. We're not getting married, except here's the worst part. Some people are getting married now because they're assuming they're going to get divorced. It's easy to get divorced. Yes, that's a newer trend. That's people get the average marriage now in America lasts 8 years. That's where we are. The average marriage lasts 8 years. So broken friendships, broken marriages, and then we're going to decide, you know what? We're not going to buy Teslas because we hate Elon Musk. All of a sudden now, we hate him now. So now we're going to make sure the Chinese have the only EVs in the planet. That's going to end up well, isn't it? That's where we are. But I'll go one step further. When politics, virtue signaling can affect your relationships, it can affect everything. It puts us into cults by default. It puts us into other guy bad by default. It puts us into dehumanization by default. It makes the cult mindset more important than community and relationships. And that's what our government's been trying to make us do for decades, and it's working. And this is an example of that. The things she talked about. Now, again, every right to do whatever she wants. But the things she talked about don't matter in her life at all. At all. They don't matter in her life. For her and her partner, does it matter about Black Lives Matter? In case you didn't notice, she's not Black. In case you didn't notice, he's not Black. Not going to affect them. So now if you want to say, well, Larry, she should be able to go out and protest and support whatever she wants to support. Agreed. Go to the Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Matter rally. Go, enjoy, go, do your thing. Get your sign out, do your thing. So he'll probably go with you. And if he doesn't, so what? Let him stay home and whatever. I hear about the Clinton house, whatever. Let him sweep the floors or whatever you're going to have him do. Whatever, mop the floor, whatever you have him do. Let him do laundry, wash dishes, whatever you're going to have him do. And you can go out and do the BLM rally. Who cares? The BLM rally. What do you care? Right? You want to support the transies. Great, go out and trans people. Go to the Pride parade. He'll probably come with you. Who cares? Go do it. Or he'll stay home and do laundry. Whatever. It's fine. Nothing to do with the relationship. That's why it's virtue signaling. Nothing to do with it. The religion part. He wasn't saying they wouldn't go to her church. Nothing. So now that's not happening either. So now when that begins to happen, now when the next demagogue comes up, we got Trump on the right now. What happens when the left has their demagogue? Whoever the next, whatever, Bill Clinton 3.0 is, whoever that person, that person doesn't exist now, but whatever. That person's waiting somewhere to pop up, the left demagogue that's going to pop up and go, I have all the answers and hate all the people who don't love BLM or whatever their thing is going to be, right? Whatever their thing will be, it'll be something. We don't know what it is yet, but it'll be there. And now we can't talk to people? This is what happens when they actually build the camps. Because the people they put in the camps are the other, who don't think like we think, who don't say the thing that we think. I'm saying we because I'm jumping on board of whoever's in charge. So I'm going to be a total sellout. So whoever's in charge, I'm jumping on their side because I'm not going to a camp. Then I'll escape to, I don't know, wherever, Mexico or something, whatever. But anyway, my point being, I'm saying we because I'm not going to a camp. Anyway, when they build the camps, it's going to be people like her and him. Well, not him. He's going to be part of whatever. So like her, who are going to be like, oh, no. You don't think like I do. Into the camp you go. That's why I'm concerned. That's why I'm bothered. That's why this actually matters. So yes. So, all right, let me grab some of these comments. We have so many of them. I do want to grab some of them. I do appreciate all you guys popping so many of them if I could. Ryan goes back to it all. Thank you for $2. It all goes back to propaganda from the government. Yes, my point exactly. My point exactly. She ended it with and vaccines, right? All propaganda from the government. Whatever the rules are for her children, they're going to follow. And this guy clearly was like, sweetheart, whatevs. Sweetheart, whatever. He just wanted to have a relationship. I feel bad for this guy. This guy just wants a relationship. And he thinks she's hot. He thinks she's nice. I mean, he's wrong. She's terrible, but that's what he thinks. And he's like, she's nice and she's hot and she likes me. I get to have a relationship. Awesome. Okay, we'll go to the church you want. We'll go to the rally you want. And they'll get the shots you want. Whatever. Yes. No, I must virtue signal. Propaganda. Yes. P says, Dean wants to comfort this boy. Women are bad. Cuddle with me. There we go. Yes. I love it. He's not a bad looking guy. I'm just saying. You're not wrong, Dean. He's not a bad looking guy. Just saying. Yes. And she obviously thought he was good looking enough too. Or she wouldn't have said that. Right? She wouldn't even have gone up there if he wasn't good looking enough. So he did pass whatever her standards are for good looks. He passed that. It was the other aspects he didn't. So yeah. Dean goes on to say, so if you really want to virtue signal, throw that iPhone in a thing that causes flames. Yep. Don't worry. We got nets. Yeah. What she doesn't understand, and this is the hard part for her and women like her. The problem is she's a bad person, but there are a lot of women who aren't bad people who are going to follow her lead. How do I know that? You can see it in the comments. There are a whole lot of women going, you go girl, a whole lot of you go girl comments, a whole lot, what she wanted. So her world of people who love her or care about her, whatever, are saying, you go girl, she's awesome. And other women are going to follow her. Now, she's a bad person. She doesn't deserve to have a good relationship, and she never will. She has no chance of having a good relationship, so she won't have one, and she doesn't deserve one. But there's a whole lot of women who do. There's a lot of women who deserve a good relationship. A lot of them do. I would argue the vast majority do, but that's just my opinion. You may differ. I would argue the vast majority of women deserve a good relationship. And a bunch of them are going to follow her and do stupid stuff that she's doing, wrecking their chances for relationships. If you want to date her, right? If you want to date her, you're going to go check out what she did. Of course you will. In fact, she's going to show you. She's proud of this. And once you see this, there's only 3 things that are going to happen. One, you go, oh my God, and you ghost her. And she would never hear from you again. You just ghost her. That's it. Never hear from you again. Option 1. Option 2, ooh, I can't wait to conquer that, and then ghost it. Option 2, right? And most of them are the guys who are much more heavier in their game, right? Who are better at gating women, they will go after her, sleep with her, and then leave her, ghost her. And the other guys like, oh, there's also, of course, the I can save her, I'm different, that guy. Now, she hates that guy, she doesn't respect that guy. But at one point, she's going to get desperate. Her mom or her sister or whomever will put pressure on her, and she will then tell the world this guy's the best guy in the world, knowing he's not. She will lie. She will go, oh, this guy's perfect. He's all these great things. She's lying, and she knows she is. She'll marry him. She'll have a kid. And then she'll divorce him and say, he changed. He changed. He didn't. He's the same weak guy he always was. She never respected him. She will then lie and say that he changed. She will divorce him. He'll be devastated. And she'll be unhappy, but she'll be righteous and virtue signaling how all men are bad. And now she has her kid and feels sorry for her because she's a single mom. That is her future. If you think I'm joking, you're fooling yourself. Now, does she deserve that? She does. Does the average woman who's going to follow her deserve it? No. No. She is an example to sadly thousands of women who are going to follow her. And do the kids that she is going to procreate and create deserve that? No. They are victims. And sadly, that's more and more common. I'll go back to my rant about people not being happy. Women aren't happy. Men aren't happy. Americans aren't happy. Right? Over 40% of all children in America born today are born out of wedlock. Highest ever been. Yes. Now, I think, remember right, I think it's most households now, most kids. Yeah, now most kids do not grow up their full 18 years with their biological parents in the household. I want you to hear that. Most American kids now, more than 50%, do not grow up their full 18 years with their both biological parents in the household. That's where we are now. Yeah. That's where we are now. Larry, why are you bothered? I just gave you a bunch of reasons why I'm bothered. That's why I'm bothered. That's why this stuff matters. That's not good for our country. That's not good for our kids. It's not good for any of the things. I'm not happy about it. And that's why I bring it up. I know some of you like, Larry, you talk about this stuff because it matters. That's the reason, because it matters. All right, let me keep going down some of these if I can. I have a bunch of comments. I do want to grab some of them. I don't want to go too nuts on these, but I will. Wow, a lot of comments. This actually made people think. Okay, I'm glad. Yes, there we go. All righty. Let's see here. Rick says, tonight's theme begs the question, what's relationship? A relationship is any connection that is trying to become long-term between at least two people, right? It's an attempt to make a long-term connection between two people. It could be a business relationship, right? A business relationship where you just go back and forth, that's not a relationship, it's a transaction, right? If I have a one-night stand with a woman, that's not a relationship, that's a one-night stand. If I see some guy once, we hang out one night watching the baseball game and never see him again, that's not a relationship. But if I'm trying to make it long-term, either romantically, business, doesn't matter, that's relationship. And I think those are being affected by virtue signaling because I can't be seen with that guy. I can't be seen with Rick. Can't be seen with him. But you and Rick are friends. I can't be seen with him. You know what? That guy owns a Tesla. Can't be seen with that guy. Lunatic says, virtue signaling ruins everything. Honesty is key. Never can be refuted, disputed, or debated, period. Actually, it can be. It's just hard, right? They will. And how they'll do it usually is by distraction. That's the most common way, Lunatic. They will fight the truth with distraction. It is the most effective way of doing it. And most people, sadly, don't know how to deal with it, and they fail. So yes. Christine says, I have found that most conservatives still feel people out to see where they stand before they state their views. What I find, Christine, in New York, and I live in New York City, so most people are more left-leaning. Most people are more Democrats. Most of my friends here are Democrats. Most of them hate Trump. Not all, but most of them do. What they'll do is they test you out with a question that seems kind of odd. They'll say things like this. They'll start talking to you. Hey, how you doing? Whatever. Trump, right? That's it. And they see where you go. And if you go, yeah, God, hate him. Okay, good. You're one of us. Right? Like they're like, okay. If you go, what do you mean? Oh, no. He's one of them. Oh. All right. So he's one of them. So yes, that's what they usually do. They do something like that. And then to see where you go. If you're savvy like I am, you go, yeah. And change the subject. And that's it. Change the subject. Very easy. So yeah, absolutely. All righty. Let me grab some more of these. Let's see here. Oh, so many. I love this. Christine goes on to say, I worry these days about who the field of psychology is attracting. Broken people. Let me be very clear. It's attracting broken people. The vast majority of people in the psychology and the sociology field today are absolute garbage. And I'm happy to say it. I see them. I know them. Terrible. They're broken, terrible, and embarrassment. Even when it comes to therapists. Most therapists actually don't do therapy. What they do is what's called affirmation therapy. So that therapy is validating your feelings, which is not necessarily bad to validate feelings. And what I mean by that is your feelings are valid because they are feelings, but saying your feelings are now basically fact, that's the problem, right? If you say, I feel sad, okay, you feel sad. Got it. Doesn't mean you're right for feeling sad because he or she did that thing. How dare her? How dare he do this thing? That's what they will often do. Validating not only that your feelings are valid, but that you are correct. That you are correct. Normalizing whatever you do. That's the piece. That's the problem. And most of them do that. Why? Make money doing that. You see, there's an issue in the psychology field right now that when you try to hold people accountable to make changes and do things, they don't like that. They leave. They don't like that. They don't like that. Well, no. Christine, your job when I come see you and I pay you my whatever, X dollars per hour is for you to tell me how righteous I am. That's your job. Okay. And everyone around me in my life who I don't like, how wrong they are. They're all wrong. I'm right. You tell me that. I give you money. That is the current field of psychology that we have. I wish I was joking. I'm not. P thing for $10. I'm not. Yes. I'm not the R word. There we go. Because YouTube will stop me for that one too. YouTube makes it sound that way. You know, the thing with the hole and sometimes has heat. Don't touch it. It's hot. Sounds like a child. Yes, I know. I'm teasing. Yes. That's good. Yes, that's very good. 100%. Yes. So, all righty. Keep going down here if I could. All right. Mike Voss in the house, he says, YouGov poll 2020, 44% of women and 44% of Democrats unwilling to date someone of other politics. Yes. And you're finding more of that currently on the left and the right. And I think that's because of Trump. That was happening kind of equally in the past slowly, but now with the rise of Trump, the left is more than the right. The right also doesn't want to date the left, but now here's the other problem, right? You find men and women like the thing they can't date, right? So the conservative man might look and see some hot girl who's got like nose piercings and tattoos and goes, ooh, that's sexy. But then the odds are she's going to be more left-leaning and he can't get along with her. So he's like, oh, well, that sucked. Well, I thought she was attractive and hot and, bad girl, right? Bad girl. And I was attracted to the bad girl. But now, right? Well, the reverse. The left-leaning woman who sees some hot conservative guy who's showing traditional masculinity traits that she likes, she finds hot, right? She wants to be with the bad boy. And then, well, she can't be with him because he's a conservative and she's left. You find both the opposites of each other trying to make that happen, attracted to that, and then can't date it. So, yeah, I think you are finding that too. which of course makes people more upset because now you're finding people, you're just hooking up now, you can't get along, and then all men are bad, all women are bad, right? Because that's also happening. So yes. So, any case, all righty. Christine says, it's interesting and a little disturbing to hear the viewpoint of a millennial I work with. That said, I enjoy trading ideas. Yes, I agree completely. Yes. Yeah. Christine then goes on to say, that woman's going to end up alone with lots of regrets. Agreed. She's in trouble. And the reason why she's in trouble is not because she made this one mistake, because she made this one mistake publicly that will never go away. That's it. Publicly, that will never go away. This was the worst possible way she could do it. She completely screwed herself. She absolutely screwed herself. Michael's going to say she's evil, did this to embarrass him. It was meant to hurt him. She has no idea what love is. I would go yes, 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 and again, yes. That's absolutely true. And that's why she's in trouble. That's why she's in trouble. Lunatic says, this is dumbass TV. That literally that one clip I showed you had millions of views. That one clip that I picked. And there's lots of them. Millions of views. Millions of views. Absolutely. Just millions of them. So, yeah, while it may be dumb, people are watching. That's the issue. People are watching. And that's the part. Andrea says, these shows are just torture to watch. I don't usually watch them, to be forward with you, but as I told you the other day, I'm the dad that whatever my kids watch, I will watch at least one show of it. I will watch at least one show or one season of it, no matter what it is, no matter how much it tortures me, because I want to understand what they're watching. So my youngins like it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna watch it. So I watch the season. And I don't have a problem with that. I would do it every single time. But this I'm not gonna watch. I mean, it's not my show, clearly. But this piece I thought was amazing, right? This piece was amazing because again, I talk to lots of women all the time. I go on events, talk to them, and I hear what they say. I talk to lots of men. You see when I go out and I talk to them, and they tell me all types of things. And both sides of this equation, this is not as uncommon as you might think, particularly in the youngsters. And I call, because I'm over 50, so if you're 30 or under, you're a youngster. That's how I see you. And when I become 70, if you're under 50, you're going to become a youngster. That's how that works. Youngster moves as I move, just so you're aware of that, right? As you become young or old, depending on how young or old I am, just so you're aware of that. So if you're around my age, you will always be normal. If you're 20 years older than me, you will always be old. If you're 20 years younger than me, you will always be young. See how that works? It's all based upon me. Me, me, me. That's what it's based upon. Nothing else. So yes. John says, Larry, I wonder if this guy won't become one of those passport bros after this. You know what? Maybe. I don't think so. For those who know what a passport bro is, that is the idea that women, that women in America are too hard to deal with. So men are packing up and taking their passports and going to other countries to try to find love, trying to find women. Generally speaking, they go to places like Eastern Europe is common, South America is common, Southeast Asia is common. So places like that, trying to find women who have more traditional values. That's their concept. To be forward with you, I think right now, and I'm not that close to that group of people. I get a lot of red pill and passport bro content because many of them are libertarian, so they send stuff to me. That's how I get so much of their stuff. My view is I think the jury's still out on passport bros, whether it's actually in the long run going to be valuable or not. I don't know. I think the ones that I've seen who are happiest, John, are those who don't come back. Are those who just stay there. They don't go get a wife and bring her back. They literally like live in Colombia or go live in Poland or go live in Thailand or whatever. They just go there and live there. They don't come back. I think those people tend to be happiest than people who try to find a wife and bring the wife home. So I think for those who pack up and leave, and many of them who do it, many of my tech guys who can do their work from anywhere, as long as they have a computer and internet, that's a common thing, that type of thing. And they just go overseas and live their life there, being tech guys and finding traditional wives and staying there. And I think the whole idea of passport bros is too new, really. I mean, people did it years ago, but I mean, now it's much more common. More Americans have renounced their citizenship last year than any year, and it's on track this year to be. A lot of Americans are denouncing their citizenship. There's one of the more popular guys for wealthy people is a guy called the Nomad Capitalist on YouTube. Talk all the time. If you're wealthy, he's like, "Why are you American? Don't bother being American. Don't be American. Go someplace else. America's terrible." Blah blah blah. He thinks that. And look, maybe if you're wealthy, he's right. You do you. If you don't want to be here, you should leave. That's my view. I'm not mad at you. If you don't want to be here, you should go. Good luck. I hope life is good for you. But the passport bros are people who tend to be more like, generally speaking, more middle class, more working class than wealthy. And they tend to leave and go on some kind of like visa and just stay there. And then you just get married if they can over there and then stay because they're married to a national of that place. So I think we won't know if it's real for probably, I don't know, 10, 20 years because all those relationships long. Right? You can only test that by the length of the relationships. If they're doing 8 years and out, well, then you might as well be in America because you do 8 years and out here, right? If that's what winds up happening. And again, no shade. This may be the right answer for certain people. Good for them, right? If overseas is where you find love, go find love overseas. I'm not mad at you, right? You do, as always, you do you. If we find out, 10, 15 years from now that these relationships are lasting 10, 15, 20 years, maybe they're right. Oh, good. We'll find out then. So Paula says, I want to buy a Tesla now, and I had no interest in the past. I don't even like Musk. I just hate the backlash. That's good. I like that. So the opposite's happening. That's great. That is good. All righty. Ryan says, people hate and destroy Teslas due to propaganda from the government and legacy media. I wish you were wrong, Ryan, but this goes back to my point. Why would you destroy a Tesla? I mean, honestly, why would someone destroy a Tesla? Only one reason. You're virtue signaling. That's it. See, I'm resisting. See, I'm strong. See, I'll take action. See, I'm helping. Look, everybody, I'm helping. Are you helping? No. You're doing, is that what you're saying, Ryan? You are simply following propaganda. Your side of the propaganda, which you feel is better because it's your side. Because it's your side. It doesn't make it better. It's just as bad. We shouldn't follow it at all, right? At all. So, yes. All righty. Let's see if I can go down this road some more. Mike Voss says, have you seen the meme where a woman tells a guy a huge list of things he must have to date her? When he walks away from the nonsense, she calls him gay and complains why there are no men. That's the norm. That's good. I like that. Yeah, look, just to be forward again, if a woman wants to have a list of things that she wants in a man, she can, right? Absolutely. But it's the second part that is the funny part to me. If you are someone, man or woman, but in this case, talking a woman, who has a list of things you expect from a man, by default, you're going to limit the amount of men you can date, right? I mean, only certain men can fill your criteria if you have a larger criteria. A smaller criteria, more men will fit it. A larger criteria, less men will fit it. So, of course, you're going to be like, why are there no men? Okay, first of all, as I've said 40 bazillion times and will never stop saying, there's 8 million men who've already checked out. So you just lost 8 million men there. And now you're like, okay, just lost 8 million. And now here is my laundry list of stuff that must be perfect. And if it isn't perfect, I don't want you. Okay, you can do that. There's like 4 dudes on the planet that are going to fit that. And that one relationship. I mean, you got to add that piece. The guy doesn't just have to fit that criteria. The guy also has to want a relationship and want it with you. You are making your pool really small. Now, men need to think the same way. But generally speaking, men are much easier when it comes to criteria. That's just true. Men are much lower on criteria, and they're much happy to take a woman who just likes them and wants that relationship. They're much more open to that. compared to women. Absolutely true. Yeah. So Rick says hers is an act. Oh, hold on. I'm going to go back to that. The one piece I'll deal with. This part bothers me. That I should bring this up. What I find with so many people is people don't get that pride is a sin in every religion for a reason. Why, Mike, when he walks away, does she call him gay? And she does. That happens all the time. Why does she say he's weak or he's beta or whatever insult she makes on him? Or he's a dusty or whatever is the phrase she uses to attack him. Why? Because of her pride. Her pride will not say, maybe I asked too much. Maybe I wasn't nice. Maybe I did something wrong. Her pride will not allow that. Her pride says, if he doesn't like me, it's because he's bad or evil, so I must insult him. That's the way I've saved my pride, right? I must say he ain't shit. He's nothing. I don't need no man. I got to say that for my own pride. Now, men do the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Men do it too. But in this case, you might think, why does a woman do that? It's her pride. How many times have I told you in my own life, I've had to put my pride in my pocket? We all should be able to put our pride in our pocket sometimes because pride is going to hurt you. That scene from Pulp Fiction, when Vin Rames' character is talking to Bruce Willis's character, and he goes, "You're going to feel the pain before you have to, he has to go down. He has to throw a fight before you have to throw the fight. He's going to feel pain, and that pain is your pride messing with you. Pride only hurts you." That's what he says, and often that's true. That's female pride, right? Male pride hurts too. That's female pride. Absolutely. Peace, thank you for $10. If you can just calm down the thing that causes attraction, side note, I hate YT, then we can finally concentrate on the facts. Maybe wear a Rick and Morty t-shirt. That is not a bad idea. Peace. My daughter has one. My oldest daughter likes Rick and Morty. She has a Pickle Rick shirt. Maybe we'll get a Pickle Rick shirt. Not a bad idea. Yes. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You should do that. I'm in, brother. I'm in. Absolutely, I'm in. All righty. Let's see here. Ryan says, if Larry's talking about the reality show lady who dumped the guy over the altar over BLM and politics. Yep, that's what I was going. There we go. Ingrid said, raising the age of we don't air our dirty laundry in public. I can't even imagine doing this publicly. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Lunatic says, Larry, I turned 42 tomorrow. My mother died at 41. I'm feeling groggy this year. I'll give you some insight on myself. My father died, he was 41. I was 11. He was 41 when he died also. And I remember when I turned 41. And since I've been 41, I've been feeling like these are all bonus years. I'm in my 50s now. I got a lot of bonus years. That's how I've been feeling. So I get that 41. Same feeling, right? I get that 41. Absolutely. Yeah. Shelly says, thank you for being a member, Shelly. She knew the whole time, pure evil. That's my point. That is my point. Yep. 100%. Yep. So, Mike says, again, his boys take him to a bar. His female friends beat her down. That would be funny. Could you imagine if his female friends took her out back and roughed her up? That'd be amazing. Good TV. Good TV. There we go. Yes, good TV. That would be fun. Ryan goes, that Klansman bastard. I know. She said, what do you think about that? He went, I don't know. Done. You are evil. You are evil. Absolutely. Christine says, is she being paid more for being awful? Via TikTok, yes. That's the problem. Via TikTok, yes. Paula says, no wonder younger men are living in their parents' basements. It's so mom and dad can protect them from the insane broads like this. Well, yes and no, right? This is chicken and egg, right? women aren't finding good men because men are in the basements. Men aren't good men because they're in the basements. So women can't find a good man. So it's like chicken and egg. If that makes any sense, right? It's all chicken and egg. So yeah, it goes all over the place, right? So I could say yes and is what I would say. Yes and that's what I would do. So, all righty. So I guess she kind of is being paid more because of that. I think she kind of is. So Shin says it's reality TV. What do you expect to find? Okay, but let's walk down that road. Let's assume for a moment that this same thing happened, but when she asked him about BLM, he was an open racist. Like, oh, to hell with black people, blah, blah, blah. What if that had been what happened? What if he actually was a bad guy saying horrible things, whatever, doing the white power thing? What if he was doing that? And then when it's in religion, he was like, oh, yeah, kill all the trans and gay people. What if he was that guy, right? If he was actually that guy, what would the comments be like? They'd be like, oh my God, Queen, what a good job. He's a horrible human being. Everybody be against him. He would be painted as a terrible person. He didn't do any of that. So what were the responses? The same thing. If you look at the comments on TikTok, the comments on Twitter, they all literally call him a horrible right-wing conservative crazy man. I'm not joking. That's what I did not expect. You're not supposed to do that. That man did not deserve the hate he got in her comments. He got horrible hate, like he was the worst, like he was basically wearing an armband. Now, whatever you might think about this guy, maybe you think he should care more about BLM or whatever. Okay, great. That makes him a Nazi. Stop. The guy's not that. He's not that. So what I put to find was people in the comments roasting her because she's the bad guy here. Again, one more time, Shannon, make it clear. Not because she doesn't like him. That's fine. She's not required to. It is my opinion her reasons were bad, but that's my opinion, and she does not have to follow that at all. What is not my opinion, which is demonstrably true, regardless of my opinion, is the way she did it was horrible. Terrible. That's true. Not my opinion. That is demonstrably true. She did not have to do it that way. She did it that way. She's terrible for doing it. She's a bad person. That is true. So there we go. Anyway. All right. Let me keep walking down here if I could. Some more of these if I can. All righty. Ryan says, I'm one of the 8 to 10 million that checked out. I know you're not alone, Ryan. There are more people here actually who are watching who are checked out too. I know them. They've checked out. Lots of them have. You're not alone. Again, 8 to 10 million checked out. They don't want nothing. They don't want anything to do with women. Relationships, nothing. They don't want them. Sadly, most of my friends who are male, they're one of two things. And this is going to sound horrible for some of you to know. They're one of two things. They literally have multiple women. And the women know. Like, it's not like they're lying. The women know. The men are being shared by these women. And again, they know there's more than one. They are not lying. They're not like, hey, sweetheart, going out with the boys tonight. No. He just goes out with other women. And they are like, okay. Because he's like, you will take me or you won't. And he doesn't care because these men have women knocking down their door here in New York City. Now, that's much more in cities than it is outside of cities. But if you are a heavy hitter male in a major city, you can do whatever you want. Does not matter. Women will throw themselves at you. Does not matter if you are a heavy hitter in a major city. So they're either that, or they want nothing to do with nothing, or they're in their current relationship so trying to hold on to it. Like so trying to hold on to it. That's what so many men are in this city. Again, my view is skewed by New York City. So I'm letting you know I'm aware that my view is skewed. But that's what I see here. I see some men who are just 2, 3 chicks, don't care. They know it. And the women know it. I actually have spoken to them and I've said, Like I'll sit with someone and we'll talk about, they'll ask me about dating, whatever, I'll talk, and I'll say, you know that you women in this city have voluntarily created a harem system. Like what? You have voluntarily created a harem system in the city. All of you women, you're all sharing the same men. And she looked at me. This last time I did, she looked at me, she went, you're right. Didn't even fight me. I went, you're right. I said, you would rather have a piece of a man that you see as valuable than be with one guy who you think isn't. And she was like, you're right. That's New York City. And I would argue that's most major cities. That isn't the same in suburbs. It can be similar in suburbs, but it's nowhere near the same. And it's not the same out in the rural areas as much at all. But in the cities, particularly the big cities, that's very common. So now everybody's angry because the average guy gets no women or gets, used and abused. And the average woman gets used and abused. So yeah. Anyway, not good. That's what I'm saying. This is not a good place to be. This is not good. So, yes. Rick says, I'm an introvert. I never checked in, but I play an introvert online. Well, there we go. So, yeah, I like that. All righty. Let me grab some more of these if I can. Mike keeps going on. He says, there are no people on the left that are happy, it seems. The more left, the more virtue signal, and the more miserable. Describes every activist. They want you to share that misery. I would argue that that's activists on both sides. The more of an activist you are, generally speaking, the more unhappy you are because you're not getting what you want. And too many activists focus on the outside, not themselves. So they don't help themselves because they're trying to help the world in their own eyes. And they can't get what they want helped in the outside. So they can't help themselves or the outside. It's true. Right now, there are far more left activists than right because Trump is winning. So I think that's true. But I think all activists suffer with that. I see it in the Libertarian Party. The more someone in the Libertarian Party is being a hardcore activist and failing, the unhappier they are because they're ignoring their own family and friends because they're being an activist, and then they can't get known as an activist. So then, yeah, they're unhappy. I think that, yeah, I would agree with you. I think that's true. So yeah. All right. Let me grab some more of these if I could. All right. Paula says she sounds like a narcissist who's just looking for narcissist fuel and is using politics to feed her ego. I would buy that. Yeah. I would buy that. Yes. All right. Phil says Gad calls liberal men sneaky fornicators because a lot pretend to be liberal to fornicate. Also true. I've seen that here too. There's a joke on, it's a Hinge joke. If any of you have been on the any who know, one of the more popular dating app? I don't know, meeting people app, whatever you would call it, is an app called Hinge. If some of you probably are on it, if you're not on it, it's an app where you meet people and try to go on dates and such, right? So one of the jokes is you'll see a guy say things like maybe it was a YouTube short I saw or something. Is a video he says, for Thanksgiving, he goes, I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for women. That's what I'm thankful for. And it's a buff guy in a tight t-shirt. And he goes, I'm 6'5", by the way. So he's pretending to care about women and being liberal so he can get liberal women to come to him. Because again, you do find men who are more conservative who are attracted to the tattooed up stereotype liberal women who think they're hot because they're bad girls. So they're hot, but they don't want to date them. They just want to sleep with them. But yes, perfect example, sneaky fornicators, Phil. Yes, that is a thing. That is a thing. Or the guy who, this other one, you'll see the guy's profile, and he's in the gym working out, and the next picture, he's like holding the cat. Like, dude. And sadly, Phil, there are women who will fall for that. There are women who be like, oh no, he's hot and loves cats. I'm sure he also loves whatever, BLM or whatever she cares about, whatever. I'm sure he loves them too, or whatever. And so he sleeps with them. So yeah, that stereotype is based on something real. As most stereotypes are, they're based on something. And that's based on something real. So yes. Peace, thank you for the $5. Rick and Morty explains free will when they talk to the automated butter robot. Oh, I remember that. Yeah. He says, what is my purpose? And he says, what, you spread butter or whatever is it? You spread butter. It's like, what? That's your purpose. He's like, no, that's his purpose. The robot's purpose is to spread butter. That's his whole job. So yeah, it must be terrible if that's. But then again, I guess you could like really spread butter well. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a butter spreader, but I guess if you were. So yeah. All right. Lunatic says a relationship is companionship. It can be, particularly if it's romantic. It should be, right? If it's right, if it can be, should be, if it's that, I think so. But yeah. Ryan says tribalism, tribalism, tribalism. Sadly, true, true, and true. That piece really works. Yes, we fall back to it constantly. But the issue is, are you going to let tribalism break you personally? Sadly, Ryan, the answer is yes. Many of us will, and we shouldn't, right? You should be worried about your family and your friends and yourself to be stronger. If you are stronger as an individual, you are by default stronger as a tribe, right? So you don't want to sacrifice yourself for the tribe either, right? So Phil says hierarchy of relationship needs, values, personality, same page on finances, looks. Ooh, I like that. I like that. So the first thing you have to have is similar values. Then the second thing you have to have is a good personality that matches, that you can get along with. Then be the same on finances. Good point. Money does matter. And then looks. Sadly, I think most people go the opposite on that one. I'm not saying you're wrong, Phil, at all. I think you are correct. I'm missing. I think most people go exactly the opposite. Go, no. He's hot. She's hot. And then, okay, the rest is whatevs, right? But she's hot or he's hot. And there was a time when I think people thought or were taught that women cared more about personality than looks. I don't know if that was ever true, but it isn't true today. Being a physically hot man really increases your odds of getting a woman tremendously. It really increases your odds. Obviously, if you have status, that helps. Obviously, if you have other things, it helps. Obviously, you have good personality, it helps. But women today, and I don't know if it's ever been different, but I'm sure it is different now, really care about looks. It's particularly youngins. You're under 30, looks are really important. And the funny part is, to your point, it shouldn't be, right? I was talking the other day, I was teasing some of you the other day about how men don't want 10s. Women shouldn't want 10s either. I mean, sadly they do, but they shouldn't. Wanting 10s is a bad thing. If I'm a 10 man, if I'm like top of the line man, and I know I'm top of the line man, I'm a jerk. That's just how it works. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being real. I'm a jerk. I'm going to treat you like a second-class citizen, even if you're a woman, because I'm the 10 and you're lucky to have me. And I know that. And women want me. I'm going to treat you accordingly. I'm treat you like garbage because you're a second-class citizen. I'm a jerk. I'm going to go find other women because I'm a 10 and I know I'm a 10. Why would women want that? But they often do. Men go, I want to sleep with that, but I want to be with it because it's going to treat me like garbage, just like the 10 man does, right? If you are a 10 and you know you're a 10, man or woman, you're a terror. Why do people want to be with you? I don't know. I don't want to, but people do. But yes. Michael's going to say, this makes me recall, I met a woman and dated for a week. She then brought me to her friends, activists in area. I was disinvited to a dinner because they knew me and my politics. Glad it happened. Wow. Yeah. I don't talk politics around people. Unless they openly ask. I don't hide it. I don't bring it up. So yeah. And you've seen me, Mike, sometimes you've seen me dodge, right? I'll be like dodging here, dodging there, because I don't want to go down that road. I just don't want to go there. Yes. Shelly says, I worked for a guy who was far left and pushy about it. He never gets the clue to change topics. Because why would he? He's virtue signaling, right? Why would he? Yes. Phil says, thank you for being a member, Phil. Shane Gillis said, I tried therapy for 3 months. He tried to get me to hate my dad, but I really like my dad. He asked me if my dad hit me, and he did, but I deserved it. My dad hit me too. That's what I grew up in, and I still love my dad. It's true. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's very true. So it's definitely an issue. All righty. Lunatic says, I understand I'm controversial. True. I will destroy my own interest presence because I don't give a about money or what money provides. My brain provides all that I move the barricades that obstruct my brain, what my brain provides. Lunatic, I still listen to you. So, yeah. Ryan says, Larry, everything's about me, Sharpe, me. Yes, it's all about me. Exactly right. Yes. It's all about me. Absolutely. Phil says, Nomad Capitalist is interesting, but he seems too clever by half. I don't know if I agree with the Nomad Capitalist, but I think he's very smart, meaning that he knows what he's talking about and how to present it. He presents it in a way that seems like a lot of sense. Again, that's not my thing, but I know that he speaks with a lot of authority. He seems to know what he's doing. That's what it sounds like. So yeah, I do like that. I do. Yeah, I think he does. So, all righty. Let's see if I can grab some more of these. Mike goes, reminds me of, I think it means Eddie. Eddie Murphy's skit about marrying an African bushwoman and how bringing her to America ruined her. I remember that. And that was when he was yelling about, I want half. I want half. I want half. And that was like in the 90s or 80s. He was saying half. Yes. I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah. And he was worried about that yes. So I do think we're going to find out in 10 or 20 years from now whether the passport bros are actually working or not. I don't think we can tell if it works. And look, if they found it, it works for them, good for them. I'm not mad at them. If that's how you get happiness, good on you, right? Good on you. I don't know if it's working. I think it's too easy. It's too easy to say it's working because currently many of the passport bros are happy. Lots of people are happy when they first get married. It doesn't mean that we'll see, right? We'll see. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong. I think we need about 15, 20 years to know if it's actually working or not. That's it. So John says, on my second Tesla, bought my first 10 years ago. Now Mark Kelly could have bought another EV, Hummer, S1, and similar in size to the gas gleaming Tahoe he bought. There were a lot of non-Tesla EVs he could have chosen, and it would have looked much better. I think you should buy what you want. I don't think it should matter. That's just my view, right? I don't care if I like Elon Musk. If I wanted a Tesla, I'd buy one. I don't really care. That's just me, but I know people care. So Shin says, one could argue that this phenomenon is a natural effect of the country developing, modernizing, and women no longer needing men for money, giving women greater choice. Agreed. Oh, yes. No. Let's be clear. You're 100% correct, but here's the problem. It's what Mike said, right? If you are going to say, hey, I want to be equal to men financially, and in that regard, okay, I'm not mad. I'm not fighting you. Okay. But then if you then say, I want to be strong. I want to be equal to men. And when I get equal to men, I'm not going to stop them to keep punching, which is what's happening now. Again, I'll go back to my under 30. If you are a woman under 30 in America, you are doing better than men. Better than men. You're not equal to men. Under 30, maybe 35, depending on where you are in that area, right? In every way of measuring, women are doing better than men in that age range. More friends, more sex, more money, more education, happier. In every way, they are beating men, better chance of getting a job, all those things. The problem is they're being taught by women who are in their 50s and 60s. If you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, that was not true. You did not come up in equality. You did not come up in equality or better than men. If you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, that did not happen. That's a very recent phenomenon. So they're being taught by women who did not come up in that, and they're teaching them that they're victims. If you're under 30 woman in America, you're not a victim, you're privileged. That makes you angry, I'm sorry. The data is there. You are privileged if you're under 30 and you're a woman in America. You're privileged. You're doing better than anybody. No one's doing better than you. Nobody is doing better than you right now. And good for you. I'm not mad at you. But now if that's true, and now you're looking for men who are doing better than you've just shrunk your pool. Okay, you can do that. Don't have relationships, or if up to you. Again, you can walk away from relationships. but they're not. What they're doing is now they're insulting men, which is what she did, which is what Mike's story was. If you just go, hey, I want to be better than men financially, I want to be able to be on my own financially, okay, good for you. But then accept that there are going to be less men that are going to be better than you financially out there. Why? Because you're doing better, which means they're doing worse. That's how it works. So there will be less men for you. So you have several options. Option one, don't date many men and accept that you may not have a relationship, which is okay. You don't have to have a relationship. There's no rule you have to have a relationship. Don't have one. Okay. Two, share men, which is what women in cities are doing right now. They're just sharing men. That's another option. Option three, don't worry if the man makes more money than you or not. Some women are doing that, but few are. Most are choosing option one or two. Most women are not lowering their standards, to take a phrase from women's work, to accept men who make less money than them. Most are not doing that. That's a choice you can make if you want to. They don't want to. So they have two other choices. Don't have a relationship, lower the odds of having one, or share men. And women are choosing the top two. The problem I have is, why are you blaming us for this? This is Mike's point. This is the point from the woman. Why is she scolding the man and embarrassing him? Just go, you're not for me, and move on. Okay. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. That guy didn't do it. Mike didn't do it. I didn't do it. If you're 50, 60, or 70, I get it. You went through some stuff. You're under 30, you're good. Stop complaining. That's all I'm saying. Stop blaming us. Don't have a man, share men, or lower your standards. Any of those three. They're all good. They're all fine options. Nobody's mad at it, except the women under 30. They're mad at it, and they shouldn't be. That's my point. I'm agreeing with you, but there is an outcome that comes from this that you have to accept. And I'm sorry, if you're an older woman, you didn't see that. I don't know how old you are, Shin, but if you're an old woman, you didn't see that. I get it, right? But if you're a younger woman, looking at it right now, you're seeing it, and you're paying a price for it. It's a high price to pay for it. So, Peace, thank you for the $5. People are diving into nets for iPhones. You know, the thing people do when they don't wish to exist. No, I know. I think you're okay with Tesla. This is the point. Like, what he's saying is, just to make sure we're clear on this, I get it, but I want to make sure that other people get it. The Chinese economy, which is making most of these things, not just Chinese, but East Asia, Southeast Asia economies who are making these things, some of the working conditions are so bad, people are deciding to self-delete. And they were jumping out of windows and off buildings and such. So the answer that the factory managers, had for this was, instead of making it better working conditions, they just made nets. So that if you did a header, that you would land in a net, not self-delete. That was their answer. Their answer wasn't, let's make conditions better so people don't jump off the building. No, we're not doing that. That's dumb. We'll make nets. That'll solve it. So if they jump off a building, it won't be our building. It'll be somebody else's building, which, yes, so you're correct. So, yeah, I'd rather buy the Tesla than buy the jumping off of building cars. Correct. I'm with you on that. So, yes, I want to be clearer on that one because I'm not sure everyone got that one. So now they'll get it. So, yes. Kim, thank you for the $5. Found the join button. Put my card in for to pay, except not showing members yet. So, bank says 2 charges are pending for this comp. I don't know. Kim, I don't know what's up. You were the only person that has had this problem. I think YouTube doesn't like you. I think you made them angry with your ticks and chickens. That's what I think it is. It's the ticks and chickens. They don't like that. They got mad at you. Thank you for being a member, though. I appreciate you showing up and doing what you do. It does matter. So, yeah. Grace says, there are a lot of men who will tell her what she wants just to nail her. Correct. Correct. That is sadly true. Yes. That is sadly true. Yeah. And she'll never get it. Like, she won't get it. She'll just keep blaming people. So, yeah. All righty. So if I can go down here, if I can grab some more. I'm glad everybody's popping this up here. So the AC says a lot of those women are seeing other men too. Yes, but it's the same men. And you can tell, the reason you could tell that is by STD rates. I'm not joking. The STD rates tell you. There is a huge increase in STDs across America, And it's way more in women than men. I mean, like 4 times higher in women than men. Why? Because they're having all the sex with the same men. So yes, they are, but they're still seeing all the top men. So sake of argument, there are, I have no idea, I'm making this number up totally AC, 500 top men in New York City. I'm probably more than that. Made the number up, right? And there's 20,000 women sharing them. Yeah, they're seeing other men, but they're seeing the other of the 500 men. They're not seeing any other guys. They're only seeing those top men. That's what's happening. So yeah, and again, the data's in. You can see it in anecdotes. You can see it in Facebook groups. They literally have multiple Facebook groups where women are telling about them and they're sleeping with, and the women are sharing them within the Facebook group. They're saying, yeah, I saw Johnny last week. You can see him on Thursday. Like they're literally Facebook groups about this. So it is a very common thing. So yes, but those men are also the same men. And you can see it everywhere. So yeah. All righty. Grab here. All right. Mike says the right thing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Guys, do me a favor. If you haven't already liked, please do so. Please share and subscribe. Please do so. Repost it. If you haven't already followed me, time to do so right now. Please follow me. Please super chat if you can. Also, if you don't mind, super chat's always great. Membership's always awesome. Please do what you can for that. It would help tremendously. And remember, tonight I will be on John Crump Live. If you have a chance, please watch John Crump Live tonight on Rumble and YouTube at 10 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow at 1 p.m., I'll have my radio show tomorrow at 1 p.m. So I will have my show at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and I'll be on tonight at 10 p.m. talking about something. I don't know what. We'll figure it out. I'll post it in the chat afterwards. So yes, go down here. Sarah, how are you? She says, I think a lot of hearts are broken in people's quest to just figure out what they want. Yes. You're not wrong, Sarah. My girls asked me about that, right? And I told them, I said, here's the hardest part in finding love. The hardest part in finding love is finding someone who you like, who also likes you. Usually, one of those is off. That person likes you, you don't like them. Or you like that person, they don't like you. That's the hardest part. You're right. It does. But to my earlier point, you don't have to do that publicly, Sarah. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to you don't have to do it publicly. That's it. Christine says, my son has arms like tree trunks and wears a tank top that says curls are for the girls. He's not messed around. Liberals need not apply. It's actually funny. That is funny. Rye Sticker says, I know tons of happy left couples and right couples. I know happy couples are left-right mix. I know a bunch that don't care about either. They just don't have traditional families. Also true. Look, don't get me wrong. You can have these things. They're just rarer and rarer. That's the issue, right? And usually they're older. They're rarer and rarer and usually older. So that's an issue. I think we should have this. That should be the norm, right? That should be the norm. It should be normal for that to happen. And I think a lot of people don't. The AC says the number of women who will fall for that for respective management is proportional to how hot it is outloaded. I'm not sure where that's going. The number one who will fall for that respective management is proportional to how hot it is outloaded. I'm not sure where that was going with that one. I don't know. Not sure that was going. Sorry. All right, hold on. Oh, he said something else. I missed it. There's a term for what he said to be drinking respect woman juice, performative, exposing. Oh, yes. Absolutely, yes. That's true. Yeah. And some women fall for that. You're right. Some do. Yes. So, pieces out. He says, good night, everyone. Stay well and keep loving your heart. He's right. We should do that. Absolutely, we should do that. 100%. He is correct. Let me grab a couple more of these if I could. I know I have so many of these things. I do appreciate that. So many of these. I do want to grab some if I can. Phil says, do you have a link to John Crump? Hold on. The problem is I asked him to send a link early. He sent it too late. So I didn't have a time to put it up because I have to do this. So I actually couldn't put it up. I did get it. Hold on. I will put it up later, but it is literally called, it is on YouTube. It's literally called John Crump Live. Literally called that. It's literally called John Crump Live. I will show it to you now if I can. Hold on. Just so you'll see it for those of you. And this will be at 10 p.m. Tonight. That's it right there. John Crump Live on YouTube. So you can see it right there. I will be on tonight. John Crump Live. So yeah, that's him. So hopefully you'll see it. If you can, that'd be nice. If you can be there. So hopefully that will help. So, all righty. All righty. Let me grab a couple more of these if I could. Ingrid says, have to go now, but before I want to tell you that I love your show / channel and the amazing conversations I have with all you Sharpies. Oh, that is so sweet. Guys, I appreciate what you guys do here. I love this chat. I love what we're trying to achieve. And I know I sometimes say things that you guys might think that are a little bit nutty, but even AC says, yep, same men. Yes, this is what's happening. I'm not judging it like saying it's bad or good, meaning the individual people doing it. I think most people are trying to do what they think is best for themselves and trying to move their life the way they best they can. I think most people are doing that. The woman I showed you is a bad person. She is a bad individual. Do I think all the women who are doing these things are bad? Not at all. Not at all. I don't think. I think most women are just doing what they think is best, and good for them. My only problem is when either side attacks, and the part that I don't like is when the 10 men, meaning the men who are 10s, when they openly lie and take advantage of the women, and they say whatever it is to get in their pants and dump them. If you're a 10 man, you don't have to lie. That was my whole point. You can just have multiple women and they'll be okay with it. You don't have to lie, particularly if you live in a large city. You can find enough women. There's someone who don't want that, but there's enough women who do. So you can have your pick of good women. If you're a 10 guy, you don't have to lie. Be your top 10 guy and you have enough women, you'll be fine, right? Or just have one. But if you need more than one, you can do it. You don't have to lie and that stuff. If you're a woman and you don't like the man you're with, you don't have to embarrass him. You can just say no and walk away. You don't have to put him on blast on TikTok or put him on blast on Instagram, or worse, put him on blast on a TV show. You can just go, you know what? Not into you. Moving on. All of those things are okay. We don't have to punish people that much. It's just not required, right? That's the piece I keep bringing up. It's just not required. Sarah says, recent Uber driver blurts that he voted for Trump because of homosexuals and illegal immigrants. Over the long ride, I came out to find he was a Muslim from Kenya. Unexpected virtue signaling in a blue area. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yes. Even he wants a virtue signal. Absolutely. Yes. Even he wants to do it. Of course. Yes. Guys, thank you so much for this evening. I appreciate all the time you gave me. Of course, I always do. I appreciate all the time you guys spent, all the super chats, all the good conversation. Again, I'll be on tonight at 10 p.m. at John Crump Live on YouTube. And I will be on tomorrow at 1 p.m. at WYSL Radio on my Larry Sharpe and Sharpe Way YouTube. Hope to see you all then. Do me a favor, once this is over, please, if you don't mind, put in a story of you or of someone you know, maybe not you, someone you know, who was bothered by a broken romantic relationship because of something like politics or something like that. Not because they didn't get along, but like politics or something. If you happen to have a story, it's an interesting story, if you can put it in, that would be great. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you all very soon.